Hey everybody, welcome to Mecum in the Morning. It is Friday, day 8 of 9 here at Dana Mecum's 37th Original Spring Classic here at the Indiana State Fairgrounds in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're so glad you've joined us for episode 2 of Mecum in the Morning.
We made it through the first day, Matt.
We did.
We did. It was a lot of fun seeing all the live comments come through. A lot of fans tuned in right away. It was really cool. Even people that were walking around said, hey, we saw you yesterday on Facebook. You and Matt did great. I'm glad they invited us back for day 2. Yesterday was a really long day. I think we rolled out of here around 7:30. A lot of great things happened yesterday.
It was, and actually we had so many consignments. The auction started a little bit earlier to fit them all in, but like you said, it was a non-stop day full of action. And yeah, we do want to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow for our final show here from Indy, but we'll be back for Tulsa. So much more in store. And as we kind of get into the groove of things, you'll want to stay tuned to Mecum's social channels for the latest schedule of when Bree and I will be on the air. Now, speaking of yesterday, Bree, or earlier this week, we had some exciting news on the block prior to the auction start related to Mecum Financial Services. That's it's a component of the Mecum business that's been around for 5 years. A big milestone was achieved with $150 million in loans that have been given out. Dana Mecum, president and founder of Mecum Auctions, was there on site on the block, joking it up with Lee Giacconi, who is in charge of our Mecum Financial Services. And if you want to find out more information about, as we refer to it, the MFS program, you can find them there at the Mecum service station. And in tomorrow's show, we're going to have a little package with Lee talking a little bit more about Mecum Financial Services.
Let me give you a little background story on why the big check came about. So every day that Dana sees Lee, he always asks him, where's my check? So if you look at the little memo on the check, it says, where's my check? So we wanted to do it big, and something that we didn't capture on camera yesterday is Dana took the check, grabbed a Sharpie, turned it over, and then signed, paid the order of Dana Mecum, and then pretended to put his account number and said, I'm going to go give the check to my wife, Patty. So it was a really cute, unplanned moment, and Dana was really happy to see that, 5 years, $150 million.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and it's also just one of the many services that customers and guests can take advantage of when they come out to an auction. And again, if you want to find out more information, you can connect with the Mecum Financial Services team there in the service station, or of course you can head over to mecum.com/finance. Bree, let's run through what's in store for today.
Yep.
Friday, May 17th. There's going to be 320 vehicles crossing the block, 11 collections, 5 motorcycles. We got 5
today. I'm very excited.
I'm sure you've scoped them out. We have 1 tractor. I'm excited about that. We have 49 pieces of road art, with a lot of those coming from the DB Collectibles Neon Sign collection. And then, of course, you won't want to miss our TV coverage starting at noon Eastern, running through 6 p.m. on Motor Trend and Max. We have so much fun out here at the auction, Bree. And earlier this week, Alyssa, our show producer, was out on the block and captured some of our younger fans there dancing. We have Zeke and Brody, who were so excited to be part of kind of the Mecum opening ceremonies, if you will. And they've been out here for a couple years. They love dancing up there. You can see them tearing up the floor. I don't know if I have moves like that.
Well, Matt, we're going to find out. So I challenge you today, after we're done filming the show, to get out there and groove with me on the dance floor.
All right, I will do my best to keep up with Zeke and Brody there. You can see so much passion they have. They both said that they love being at Mecum Auctions, and they certainly love seeing the cars. And I will take your challenge, and I will see you on the dance floor.
I'm ready to watch, film, and partake in this challenge.
Okay, all right.
I will join you.
Okay.
I've got dance moves that you just don't even know.
All right, well, we're going to find out, and if we produce anything of value, we will include it in tomorrow's show. We'll see, but that'll be fun. Other things to talk about, Bree. Let's talk about some of the notable vehicles that we've seen both on the block and out here at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, starting with the 1919 Harley Davidson that we talked about on the show yesterday. That sold when it
shortly after.
Yeah, it was after we wrapped up the show and we had a spotlight on that Model J. me and the team, we went and found Craig Mallory, one of our motorcycle division consignment agents, for a spotlight on some motorcycles in today's show. And I made a comment about referring to that in 1919. He goes, oh yeah, he goes, it already sold. So great news there, and that's off to a new owner. And then we're going to have a new segment. Working title is to be determined, but it's vehicles that kind of catch your eye while you're out, and I love the fresh perspective that you bring and what attracts you.
Not being someone that has been historically in the car industry or the automotive industry, really having a strong background in motorcycles, when I'm walking the halls and I'm, at the block, I see so many vehicles that are just really eye-catching for a variety of reasons. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show Matt my picks, and he's going to give you all the dish on them.
So the first one, and I when you sent me over, I said that makes sense. It's a 1957 BMW Isetta, and it's a cute little car. Obviously, these micro cars are very popular when they rolled out in the mid-1950s. They have a great look to them, a lot of charm. Produced from 1955 to 1962, just over 161,000 in total. This one had a great look with that two-tone kind of, I guess, pink and...
we'll call that champagne pink.
Champagne pink.
Thanks.
And I will say, fun fact, I don't know if you recall, do you recall a TV show with a character that had one of these cars?
I do not, Matt.
Family Matters, with the character Urkel having a red and white one. So,
fun fact, he just got married 2 weeks ago.
We'll have to see if his
If that
Isetta
car
was
made it.
included. Probably not, but it was part of the show, and I remember a lot of people were connect that character for him kind of being wacky and unique with that car, just because it
So
kind of
now I'm
fit
going to
the
have to
role.
go back and watch Family Matters. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, so another one that you pointed out, and again, this one had no shortage of attention. It was a 2017 custom limousine, and it was used in a 2016 music video by Pitbull. It was filmed in the South Beach area. You can see Pitbull and his crew there along the water, with the limousine being included in it. And it's got a lot of looks. A lot of that has to do, Bree, because of the fact that it's modeled after the extremely rare and extremely fast Bugatti Veyron. And so, of course, that's got a very unique look, being stretched with the gull-wing doors or scissor doors up there. So.
The one thing that caught my eye, well, there's many things that caught my eye with that, it was the front spoiler. Can you explain the purpose of a front spoiler to me? Because I see rear spoilers all the time, but a front spoiler on the grille.
Right. That one, I think it would be chalked up to just over the top. Obviously any kind of aero on a sports car like that can achieve super high speeds, any kind of aero in unique places like that. With a limousine that size, you're not really going that high speed. I would hope not, to prom, unless you're running late.
Maybe. Are you daring me?
No, I'm not daring. But anyway, I think it's just part of the over-the-top nature of that vehicle. But if anyone got a chance to look inside, it had obviously all of the custom limousine touches. Really had a neat look there, and certainly caught someone's eye when across the block.
So I just picked up this beautiful Hawaiian shirt from our Mecum shop. It is men's, but I typically like a style like this. $65, by the way. But I feel like I could be riding in the limo wearing this.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think it goes.
I think it's great.
With my Mecum coffee mug, plug here. Yeah.
Well, and since we're talking about our apparel, what we're wearing, I'm wearing one of our Curing Kids Cancer shirts. We've been so excited to have Grania Owen and her team out at Mecum Auctions with Curing Kids Cancer, the charity here on site. And so if you want to find out more, you can find her and her team there in the staging lanes and get more information about that. Speaking of more information, Bree, let's talk about a question that we get pretty regularly, and that's when people come out to Mecum Auctions, and let's say that they're new to the experience and they're just spectating.
So they bought a ticket.
They bought a single day admission.
Yep.
They heard that Mecum Auctions was in town. They grabbed their significant other, some family, some friends, and said, hey, let's go spend a day at the auction. So obviously we welcome that. That's a large part of the people who come out. It's not just bidders and consigners, people who want to come see the action.
Feel the experience, but maybe not partake, or they don't think they'll partake.
Right, thinking that, and then they come out and they do see something that excites them, that catches their eye, and they want to bid on it. So we were able to catch up with Kim, who works in our service station, for all the details about how someone could take their spectator admission and become a bidder. And here's the package, and here's Kim's details.
Kim. I work at the service station. This is where you can register to bid, you can upgrade your bidder tickets, or if you have any questions, we're glad to help you. To even participate in the auction, you need to be a bidder. If you come in with a general admission ticket, then I'll be glad to upgrade you to a standard bidder badge, and we take off your general admission money. So if you paid $60 or $30, we take that off your general admission price. So it's either going to be $170 or $140. We're always for upgrade because you can bid. And we encourage everybody to come in, if you're not sure, to come in and look at the vehicle. We take you on tours, show you the ins and outs of the auction, what to do after you purchase the vehicle, how to purchase the vehicle. We even have a lot manager that we will help you, show you how to open the doors, look in it, crank it up for you. If you have any questions, we're glad to help you.
And if you haven't had the chance to certainly swing by the staging lanes, I encourage you to. Kim is one of the many friendly staff members and team members that we have up there that can answer any and all questions. And it's a great opportunity when you come on site to the auction to kind of get your bearings, right? Because as we talked in yesterday's show, when you come into the fairgrounds and there's you're greeted with this brand new building and this great overlook, it can be a little overwhelming, especially as you pass the excitement of the auction block. So I encourage you, come in and then make your way to the service station, and that will further get you up to speed with kind of what's going on for the day.
And it doesn't matter what time of day. So you're roaming the halls, the lanes, and you see something and you see the estimate on it and you're like, hey, I didn't know I could afford this vehicle. Literally any time of the day, whether you go to Kim at the service station or you go to Dana K at the bidder registration, you can absolutely upgrade your ticket and become a bidder.
Right. And that's something too that we will certainly dive into more into the show, just to help viewers connect that when you come out to Mecum Auctions, that we really do have something for everyone. And that, again, if you're new to the collecting space and you're just starting your collection, whether it be a piece of road art like we were talking about yesterday, or if you see a vehicle that is just speaking to you and talking to you, you want to take it home, you can certainly do that. And that also ties in with our Mecum Financial Services. And then also another department, which we will definitely dive into, is Mecum Transport. So
we'll probably cover that on a couple segments. So you just mentioned road art, and I'm going to throw it out there. I was walking the lane this morning, seeing what was coming up on road art, and I saw a mini popcorn cart. Imagine my 9-pound Papillon in there serving popcorn to other dogs.
I'm glad you said that, because I was going to ask what a Papillon is.
It is a beautiful French dog. Papillon is the French word for butterfly. He might join us on a segment or two in the future because he does come with me everywhere. My son and him have kind of like a love-hate relationship because I love them both so much. So I could only bring my son this time. You know, and next time when Braden doesn't come, then I'll bring Prince Freddie.
And the dog eats popcorn? Is that why he likes the cart?
Well, no, because he fits. He's 9 pounds, and it's a mini popcorn cart.
Fits.
After we're done here, I'm going over and seeing if I can get that mini popcorn cart.
We have learned so much about Bree in such a little bit amount of time between popcorn, Papillons, Hawaiian shirts. Something else that is readily evident about Bree is obviously your love of motorcycles. That's
can't deny it.
Where the bulk of your career has been spent. You genuinely are a passionate enthusiast. I know we joke on air, but I've talked with you a lot. You really do love two wheels, and that's great. You're such a great addition to the team because we have at Mecum Auctions, we have a whole motorcycle division where we sell collector motorcycles of all kinds. And so for more information about that, we were able to catch up with Greg Mallory. Again, I mentioned he's one of our great motorcycle consignment agents. And I asked him kind of to give us a high-level view of the motorcycle division here at Mecum Auctions.
I'm Craig Mallory. I'm a motorcycle consignment agent. I specifically do motorcycles here at Mecum Auctions. At Mecum Auctions, we sell basically everything that has a motor and two wheels on it at the motorcycle department, sometimes three wheels. We've got motorcycles that are expected to sell somewhere in the kind of, $10,000 to $15,000 range. And then you've got other bikes like the Desmo Sedici, like the Super Leggera, that are quite possibly in the $50,000 to $65,000 range. We sell motorcycles at our car events. We usually bring between, a couple dozen to 100 motorcycles, depending on the size of the event. We have the world's largest motorcycle auction every year in January, going on 34 years strong this year. We go out there for 4 days. We sell between 1,500 and 2,000 motorcycles in Las Vegas every year.
I'll talk about that.
So a great overview about what's here at Mecum Indy, but of course also what regularly crosses the block. And as Craig said, one of the hot spots in the motorcycle community, Bree, you will lose your mind, is the world's largest motorcycle auction coming up in Las Vegas early next year. It is a sight to behold, all kinds of two-wheeled wonders, really great stuff.
I think we do about 2,500 motorcycles, but the thing is, every auction we always have a handful of motorcycles. So if you're a motorcycle enthusiast and you know we're coming to a town, there's a good chance we do have a motorcycle or two up for auction. One of the things I get most excited about is they were showing some Ducatis. I'm a big Ducati fan. I have a 1995 900 Super Sport. It's beautiful. I'll never let it go. But right now, if you're looking at MotoGP, I'm a big race fan. It's an amazing thing to watch. The top 3 motorcycles leading the championship right now are all Ducatis. There's something going on with Ducatis now. It's like a rebirth, and they're just taking over all of the premier racing, from the National Racing Series to the World Racing Series. It's a beautiful thing. If you've never heard a Ducati start, or a dry clutch or a wedge clutch on a Ducati, it's the most beautiful sound you've ever heard.
And Bree, one of the elements that sets off Ducatis is their structure of the single rear
sided swinging arm.
Right.
Yeah.
So for viewers who are unaware, fill us in exactly. What does that mean?
It's just single-sided. Yeah, instead of
having two.
Yeah. It's just a design thing, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easier to work with, sometimes it's not, depending on the race series and how you've constructed your whole race bike. But I will say that when we raced Ducatis, I had a race team back in the day. It was really hard getting the factory single-sided swing arms to us if we had a crash, because Italians like to take vacations.
Okay.
And it seemed to happen every time we needed to order a swing arm replacement.
Now, has Ducati used that architecture since their start, or was there a particular era that they started including that in
There
their
was a particular era, and I'll have to get back to you. Maybe we'll touch back on that tomorrow. But one of the things you saw down there was also a Panigale. Ducati Panigales have been around since 2011, and there's been quite an evolution of them. They're like the pinnacle of a Ducati sport bike. I think it's what really put Ducati on the map in terms of like having a very robust and highly attractive sport bike was the Panigale. And I think just we'll see more evolutions of it as it goes, years down the road.
Would I be right in assuming Panigale is Italian for pinnacle? Or is that something else?
No, it's actually a Panigale is named after a small town in Italy.
Okay.
Yeah, you thought you were going to throw me off with that one. It didn't work this time, Matt.
I need to brush up on my Italian and definitely some of my motorcycle.
I know, ciao, and that's
knowledge to keep up. But
I like a spaghetti.
I love your passion, and we're definitely going to pull more from that just with your motor. You got so much motorcycle experience.
And I'll get back to you on some information about the single-sided swing arms tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Something else that's important to note is that a lot of those great Ducatis and some of the other bikes here at Mecum Indy are part of the Frank McCauley collection. They're going to be selling tomorrow, and in tomorrow's show, we have another package checking in with Craig for even more details about those bikes.
I'm excited to see it, and you might see me wear a bit of registration pass tomorrow.
All right, well, something else that we have regularly at the Mecum auction is our sponsor, 303. They've been with us for a number of years now, and Bree, one of the things about the way that we look for these kind of sponsor partnerships are brands that help the collecting space, and 303 has so many different products that they offer to collectors, and even if you don't have a collector card, just all kinds of products to keep your daily driver looking its best, or some kind of a high-end collectible. One of the new products they have is that graphene spray, the nano spray. You can see it there. That's a great product. I have a bottle of it myself that I use on my vehicles, but also if you stop by, they have their own merch and hats, t-shirts, all kinds of great products there for keeping all kinds of rides looking their best.
So being someone that's really into fashion, I was really intrigued at their booth. They have some really cool apparel designs too. So before the weekend's up, you might see me walk out with a 303 bag.
And you can, of course, find the 303 area and their team and staff members. They're in the staging lanes right behind the Mecum service station. Really easy to find. Be sure to stop by. Let's talk about a consignment here on the floor,
which has been drawing attention from everyone.
It has. I know, and we've said that a lot, Bria, I feel like, but I will genuinely say that this car is a showstopper here, and a lot of that has to do obviously with the look. It's a gold 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air. We see a lot of Tri-5s that here at the auction, but this one is extremely unique.
And when you say gold, it's actual gold, 24 karat gold all around the vehicle.
And there is a very important reason why. I had a chance to head over to the car, get up to speed with the background, put together a package, and here's, take a look. This 1955 Chevy at Dana Mecum's 37th original Spring Classic is a very special and shiny piece, harkening to a major milestone in General Motors history. On November 23, 1954, the brand assembled its 50 millionth automobile, a 55 Bel Air Sports Coupe. To set it apart, it was painted gold and received gold plating, along with 2 other cars that assisted in promo work. Unfortunately, 2 of these iconic cars have since disappeared, with the 3rd destroyed in a garage fire. That makes this glistening, no expense spared replica the closest chance many will have to seeing to how these special cars would have looked in all their golden splendor. This ambitious tribute project, completed just in January, was undertaken by Real Deal Steel, Snodgrass Chevy Restorations, and historian Steve Blades. They set out to replicate that 50 millionth example, with this car featuring a new reproduction body and frame, and to mirror the original as closely as possible, it includes many parts dated from the fall of 1954. Under the hood, it's powered by a 265 cubic inch V8 paired to a 2-speed Powerglide transmission. For the one-of-a-kind looks, the vehicle shines in 5.5 gallons of custom tribute gold paint, costing $1,200 per gallon, with all stainless and chrome components being plated in 24 karat gold, covering components like the bumpers, wheel covers, window cranks, and door latches. This glimmering recreation made its first public appearance at the 71st annual Detroit Autorama and was later showcased at the 61st annual Chicago World of Wheels. There in the Windy City, it clinched a variety of awards and has since been featured in numerous media spotlights and magazine stories. There's a lot of shoebox Chevys, but perhaps none as spectacular as this stunning replica. It's a golden opportunity for bidders when it crosses the auction block. So very much gold indeed, and like you said, Bree, it really does incorporate 24 karat gold as part of that tribute to that original trio of cars.
Okay, so what parts of the car actually have 24 karat gold?
So this example has around, I was told by Steve as we were dialoguing about the history of the car, it's got about $110,000 worth of gold plating. Now, this would have been over all of the factory stainless steel and chrome, which, if you think about it, if you compare it to one of the other many Tri-5 Chevys, here you can see that that era in particular obviously used a lot of that chrome. So imagine this, you know what I'm saying, you can really get a good side by side when you look at one that has the chrome to see how much gold plating went into this car.
Now, this is me, and honest question, is that car meant to be driven on the road, or is it really like a collector's showpiece that you have in a beautiful museum type of setting?
Right, so great question, and it obviously speaks to a particular niche of collector car where it is running, driving, functional. Obviously everything is working on the vehicle, but just because of that level of craftsmanship that Steve and the shops put into it, it would really be a crown jewel, no pun intended, of a Chevy collection, of a General Motors collection. And you see that even in the way that it's presented. I think it's a stunning tribute to how the trio of the originals would have been presented at the shows, at the GM Motorama, raised up on mirrors with lights. I think Steve and the team there did a great job of really trying to capture kind of an era that's lost, because as I detail in the video, those cars have kind of vaporized. We don't know if they'll come back. And I gotta say, Bree, one of the things that gets me excited, I was actually chatting with your son Braden about this, who was there for the production of that piece. He was asking about the significance of a car like that. And while again, this car is a modern tribute, recreation,
yep.
One of the things that gets me excited is it raises awareness of the trio for a lot of people that have no idea that these cars existed. So I love efforts like this because of all the work that goes into it. It's clearly a passion project, and I think it helps to kind of broadcast out there. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe in a couple months, maybe a couple years, we start hearing some rumors about maybe where some of those other cars ended up.
So there's a car sitting next to it. Do you know any information about
the blue?
Yeah, the blue one.
Yeah, so that's another showstopper that was also put together by those shops, and that's another very high level. You wouldn't really want to drive that. That's a numerous show winner, and it really showcases just the level that some of these high-end shops can go to with craftsmanship, with artistry, and just stunning overall presentation.
How long does something like that take?
Well, I don't know offhand with that blue car, but obviously when you look at it, it's evident, if not months, certainly years.
Yeah.
And you know, to get projects like those together, and especially to that high level with this gold tribute in particular, a lot of research went into that, and so obviously it requires a lot of time. But it is, and that's what makes those projects so breathtaking to see in person.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, but I love seeing them. I'm actually, when we leave Indy, I'm actually going to miss seeing them as I walk in every morning.
They've had no shortage of media attention, and they're in a great spot there. So
yeah.
All right. Well, as we wind things down with this show, Bree, let's talk about some comments. We're going to be checking our socials, and we love to see what our viewers have to say about the show, perhaps about things we talked about, questions for Bree and I.
Something they want to see in the future.
Something they want to see in the future.
Segment ideas.
Segment ideas.
Matt dancing.
More Matt dancing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's always something people want to see.
Well, something that came up yesterday is when we were talking is I had mentioned that I had not taken the thrill ride yet. So my cohort, Dre Hart, has challenged me, and we're going to go out today, and we're going to do the thrill ride and hopefully share my crazy face in the morning.
No, it will be included.
Yeah.
All right, we have a comment from yesterday's show from about when we were talking about some of the cars that people want to see. Andrew Mackey commented on Facebook that 1985 Oldsmobile pace car is looking pretty good. That was part of the Roger Penske collection, and he was here on site.
It was great to meet him.
And he was there, gave some words, and so there's the car sold yesterday. So thanks, Andrew, for that comment. Be sure to keep the comments coming. And as we wind down, be sure to tune in to HBO Max for the live stream of the auction.
I think it's just max.com now.
Max.com. And also be sure to catch our auction TV coverage starting at noon Eastern. And join us tomorrow for Mecum in the Morning on Saturday. Thanks, everybody.